channel to that has to deal with the beacon of hope citizens around Nigeria. Today is a special day once again, as we will be opening lines for anybody who wishes to reach out to call us so that we can actually connect. And we'll be having some interesting time in the studio here, as we have been joined by the woman leader in Active Citizens, and obviously from the coalition of our cooperative society in Awka, Anambra State. So, and also to have this conversation with me, I have Angel in the studio here with me.
Welcome to the program Hope Alive. Sit tight, relax, let's discuss.
Yes, and of course, Antonia Njideka is the CEO and founder of Divine Women Foundation. It's an NGO based in Awka.
Thank you for having me in this show. I'm excited to share my insightful insights with your audience. Thank you.
All right. I think we are ready to get this going.
Yes.
So we have decided that this very particular year we'll be dealing specially about taking action on what is happening in Nigeria, not just the same rhetorics all over again, wherein every day we come out to talk about the protest that is going on here, about who is attacking Chibola Tinubu and who is attacking P2B and the rest. We want to start this year, January, to focus on solutions that will help moving forward Nigerians to have a better say, to get their power back. Because when they don't have their power back, then it means that nothing works. So that's why we started this year once again with Active Citizens. And this is a movement that stands as a beacon of hope in challenging times, proving that the power of collective action can break barriers, dismantle injustice, and inspire progress. We are actually catalysts for change, committed to shaping a Nigeria where fairness, respect, and unity are not just ideals, but lived reality for every citizen. But we'll come back to have that very discussion again. So let me start with a very distant. I understand that you deal especially with women, the empowerment of women. Now that we are mobilizing citizens to become active, what steps are you taking in your cooperative? Because the other day we had a meeting where I actually presented the Active Citizens, and I noticed that every one of them that is there are belonging to individual cooperatives, but they all came together, uniting as one to do one singular thing, to become active. So now moving back to the women that you have been empowering all this while, the awareness that you have been creating, tell us about them, their activeness right now after you have spoken to them, and what steps they are taking to become active.
Okay, thank you for that. At the inauguration meeting, the women in attendance, they felt energized and empowered to be recognized. In speaking with them, I learned that many of them had registered their cooperative years ago, and they have not seen any meaningful benefits in their leadership roles. But this movement now is now bringing in the consciousness that they need to get involved so that they can gain something, they can gain things from the movement, and they can improve in their local areas in terms of being conscious of what they ought to gain from the government. And by so doing, it will bring an empowerment, and it will be a new era of growth for them.
Okay, let's start with the training rather, because I understand that you are seriously involved with training, especially as it concerns women, yes, not just in Awka, Anambra State, but across Nigeria. Can you tell us a little more about the Divine, what is that name again?
Divine Women's Skill Foundation.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So tell us about them, and then how you are going to take this up to making them become active.
Okay, right now we are doing some online trainings and seminars to create awareness, to tell them they need to be active. And activeness is all about taking action, because this activeness or whatever is not a title. So it has to do with action. Like so many of them now, I told them I have discussed that with them, and they are happy that something of this, that something like this is coming up, because they said it will help them to demand what rightfully belongs to them from the government. Yes, and this is not an act of trying to accuse any politician or accuse them of this or that. This is demanding, being active to demand what rightfully belongs to you, so that you benefit from what is yours.
Instead
not
of
just
every day crying.
Yes, crying, and this is the right timing for it to discuss on active citizen, because the economy is in shambles, and this is the right time to talk about that, because they say hunger no poor person or rich person.
Okay.
Hunger no they respect a certificate, whether you're from this state or from that state, from this tribe, everybody is feeling it.
Yeah.
And that's why all of them, in fact, they are even eager for us to come up with things that will help them on this movement.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll be coming back to you a little while. Let me quickly run to Angel. Angel, you can hear Lady Divine here is hitting it, and of course, we intend to listen to the people and of course give advisory services and all of that. But again, I see that you have started getting involved with the women as far as doing the things with them and encouraging them to become active. Do you foresee any women not getting involved in this? Because I see everybody seems to jump ship. Do you think it's the same thing that happens every time? People will embrace something, but at a later time they will go back.
No, it's no longer business as usual. Now we have united voice. Now everybody wants to participate. Everybody wants to be heard. Everybody wants to know what is that thing in that budget that is for us. We need to see it. Yeah. We need to live with it. They need to, if it's empowerment, we need to see it. Everybody needs to be empowered, because the economy is no longer smiling. Okay,
I think let me get back to Lady again. Talking about the empowerment that Angel just talked about, you say you've been involved with training for like 15 years.
Sure, yes.
Okay, now since you have been doing these trainings, and of course it will be empowerment have you looked at the budget estimates or allocations that should have come to women, or have you been provided with the resources that should benefit the woman that is coming from the allocations every year, constituency projects?
To be frank, for all the years we have been in this empowerment of a thing, we have not benefited anything from the government. We are just, the sponsorship is from individuals. Even oftentimes I use my own money, I fund it myself to make sure that the women are okay, because of the passion I have in helping women.
Okay, let me take it this way. Every year in the constituency project allocations, there is always a provision of trainings. There is always a provision of sharing like keke. There is provisions of women in agriculture and several other things that are in the budgets. Now, what we noticed, I just needed you to validate this point. What we have noticed is that even when the honorable members or the senators want to make this happen in their area, they tend to make it to be their own. So you'll be seeing, oh, Senator NYZ or Honorable NYZ is having this empowerment, and they will not even bring it to the knowledge of the people that this allocation we are talking about is from the government. It means applauding them for a budget that the federal government has provided. So you are saying you have not in any way, 15 years of training in women, you have not come across any provision coming from the allocations?
Not at all, sir.
Not at all? Yes, sir. But this time it's going to happen.
Thank God.
Because if you are in Oka South here, I can see from the 2024 budget allocations that there are allocations for women training, there are allocations for empowerment women in agriculture. I can see a lot of empowerments that are on the 2024 constituency projects allocation for Oka South, which of course We are going to have a town hall meeting, and we expect that even an oversight function should be happening from the people in Awka South local government. So very soon, you don't need to use your money to do empowerment because the federal government has allocated this to that. And if the money did not come, it's simply for the senator and the House of Rep member to actually own it up to tell his people that this has been budgeted but funds has not been released. Now, nobody is accusing anybody of stealing funds, but rather that we need transparency and accountability. Yes. Now, and having said about transparency and accountability, what do you have to add?
Yeah, that is the motto we have now. This year, let's say 2024 budget is gone because we can't hold them accountable again.
We can.
But it's gone.
You know, the last time when they presented 2025, the National Assembly gave an extension of 6 months on the 2024 budget allocation.
So there is still hope.
Yes.
So there is still hope.
There is still hope. So we can hold them accountable for it.
Of course.
Yeah, the things that belongs to us, they should bring it.
2023 that is unexecuted. If the money has been disbursed, we need to know who has been awarded the job and how it needs to be done. Yeah. Because we have gathered all this data to make it happen.
Yeah, because women need the empowerment. Yes, because most of them,
women, and they're happy.
Yeah, exactly.
That the active citizen movement is coming up, taking over.
Because they say when you empower one woman, exactly.
Okay, you do some skill training. Is it only for women?
No, for youths.
For youths?
Yes.
And women?
Yes.
Tell us more about this.
Okay, on the women empowerment, because because I told you that we have not gotten anything from the government since 15 years of the foundation. Then, but on that area, because I said instead of we all are not from zero background, so we have to I have to initiate something called counter funding. In that counter funding, A will bring in her own fund, B will bring in her own fund, that will now bring the funds together and we do something for ourselves. We do some things like we do monetary contributions, we do investments, though they have their challenges. That's why it's always good to tell people to back up their zeal with knowledge. Because I know I ran into one woman that ran away with my money and that of my women. That is one of those things. It's part of it. And that has not even stopped us. We are still moving and we'll still get to that height. So we have been doing it ourselves, helping ourselves. If you're into, maybe you're into headwear making and your sister is into cake making, you teach your sister how to do cake baking and your sister will teach you, that like trade by barter. So that's what we have been doing and it has been helping us. But I'm so happy. I'm so happy that the active citizen movement is on now. At least it will be a new era for the women. Yes, for the women.
Okay, let's take a short break. We'll just come back and then we'll try